Hello, I'm Tian and welcome to this special program of World Insight. They say trade makes the world go around, but our world today is beset by fragmentation stemming from geopolitics and rhetoric. Is trade still fostering globalization? What is the reality of trade today? These are bigger questions that can only be answered in time, but it's also important to try to work on the answers along the way. That's why I am here in Guangzhou when the 133rd Canton Fair is wrapping up. B as a bee. This is the Canton Fair. It's the barometer of China's trade. It's already 133rd time. But now, the fair has also become a key indicator of global trade, as it's one of the world's largest trade events. Especially this year, 3 years after the pandemic, it is the first time it's held in person, with an eye on high-tech advances such as smart manufacturing, electronic vehicles, green wind turbines, and robots. Chu Shijia is very excited. As Vice President and Secretary General of the Canton Fair, he's doing the rounds in the venue every day and has all the latest info firsthand.
广交会的第一届是在中苏友好大厦举办的。
On 2 years of the first half of the 1970s, export volume at the Canton Fair accounted for more than 50% of China's trade exports.
What exactly is the message that do you see important through this Canton Fair to the rest of the world?
非常感谢提了这么好的一个问题。
Thank you for asking such a good question. The Canton Fair is an important window for China to open up to the outside world and highlight the importance of foreign trade. It is also a world-renowned international economic and trade event. Founded in 1957, the Canton Fair has gone through 67 years of glorious history without interruption, but it has withstood more tests. The Canton Fair has grown bigger and bigger. The 133rd session of the Canton Fair is the first time to fully resume offline exhibitions after the 3-year epidemic, and it is also the largest session in history. The Canton Fair has several distinctive features. The first feature is its large scale. Our exhibition area has increased from 1.18 million square meters before the epidemic to 1.5 million square meters now. The second is the number of enterprises. There are more than 34,000 exhibitors at the Canton Fair this year, an increase of 9,000 compared to that before the epidemic. The third feature is the new exhibition area. At this Canton Fair, we have newly established new exhibition areas and special areas such as smart manufacturing and industrial automation, renewable energy, and intelligent connected vehicles, which have been well received and widely praised by customers. The fourth feature is the new products. Among the 3.4 million exhibits online and offline, more than 800,000 pieces are new products, and more than 500,000 are green and low-carbon products. Therefore, these new products, new technologies, provide new choices for global buyers and consumers.
给全球的采购商和消费者提供了新的选择。
Smart manufacturing. It's amazing, and it's also one of the key areas that's going to drive China's future economic development. I know that here you have a lot of smart manufacturing exhibits and also trading in that area. Tell me more about what trend do you see, and do you see that is likely to the global supply chain to complement the global supply chain?
那么这一次广交会就给了一个。
In this session of the Canton Fair, Chinese companies showed the latest achievements of industrial upgrading to buyers all over the world. One of the important areas is the field of smart manufacturing. It is not only an upgraded version of Made in China, but also recognized by global procurement. In our smart manufacturing exhibition area this time, many companies participated in the Canton Fair for the first time. It turned out that each company received inquiries from buyers all over the world. They saw the demand for direct orders, so the companies were overjoyed. Why? It is because that the latest products of China's industrial upgrading are in line with the international market demand.
跟国际市场需求升级实现了对接。我们的新三件这个
That is to say, China's manufacturing and the international market have achieved a full and complete connection at a higher level. Our new energy lithium battery intelligent products are all particularly popular. It is the most direct manifestation of modern technological civilization, which creates better life for people. Made in China has captured the needs of successful people and young people abroad with the latest achievements, which not only met the needs of people in the global market for a better life, but also ensures the stability and smooth flow of the global industrial chain. So this is where the value of the Canton Fair lies.
稳定和畅通，所以说这就是广交会的价值所在。很多国外的领导人，你看看亚洲的、
The Canton Fair is a good way to feel the pulse of the global trade. It has also made history. For example, the fair hosted the very first U.S. trade delegation to China.
就是 the first U.S. trade delegation that visited China.
So a lot of people suggest that the world trade today is becoming ever more fragmented. For one fair, which is hosting more than 220 economies around the world, you must have a good idea now, once we are already at the final stage of Canton Fair, about exactly what is the nature of global trade these days. What are people thinking these days? What kind of prospect do they want to see? Mr. Chu.
我觉得通过广交会的这个平台啊。
We can see several important features of the global economic and trade trend through the Canton Fair. The first characteristic is that development is a global consensus. The flights have not yet fully resumed, but buyers from over 220 countries and regions and exhibitors from over 40 countries have come to the fair. They have gone through countless hardships and overcome numerous difficulties. Why? Because the Canton Fair helped them create and seize development opportunities, broaden development space, and meet development partners. The second aspect is that the Canton Fair is, after all, an international trade platform where everyone wants to buy and sell and trade. You can find out which products and brands are most popular at the Canton Fair, because there are almost all kinds of similar products here. It is certain that new technologies, new fashions, and new products are popular. So from the Canton Fair, it can be seen that the pursuit of a better life by people from all over the world in different countries and regions is eternal. The third is that everyone hopes to have a good environment, which is fair, just, open, transparent, safe, and stable. This time we see so many people with different skin colors and languages coming to China, which is not only a choice for the Canton Fair, but also a choice for the Chinese environment. Imagine a place full of chaos and wars. Even if there's a good platform, people will not go there.
如果一个兵荒马乱、战争纷呈的地方，即使有好的平台，人家也不去。
I'm very curious, Mr. Chu, because I read some media reports suggesting, because the world is changing so fast and therefore traders from the United States, for example, and some Western countries might not be necessarily here at Canton Fair. But I learned by walking in the fair last night, actually things are different from what they suggested. So tell me more about exactly what happened.
我们和全球的采购商。
We have always maintained close contact with global buyers. The Canton Fair has established cooperative relations with more than 180 industrial and commercial organizations in more than 100 countries around the world. We track the willingness of exhibitors in real time. Speaking of the uncertainties in the current international trade environment, I want to tell you that through the window of the Canton Fair, you can see that although there are still many uncertainties, it is certain that countries all over the world are determined to expand and to deepen economic and trade relations with China in real time. Our buyers this year come from more than 220 countries and regions around the world. According to my actual daily monitoring, the number of buyers from European and American countries is still huge, and the number of buyers from the United States has now exceeded 4,000. There are nearly 3,000 buyers from Japan and nearly 2,000 buyers from major European countries such as Britain, France, Germany, and Italy. At present, almost all of the buyers from the top 250 retailers in the world come to the Canton Fair. We welcome anyone from any place.
What about the Belt and Road Initiative? And how are those business circles from the Belt and Road economies are interacting with us? What are some of the most important features this time?
在广交会上，一个特别重要的组成部分。
The participation of traders from BRI countries is one of the most prominent part of the Canton Fair, because the Belt and Road Initiative is an important path for China to promote a community of shared future for mankind. It has been welcomed, supported, and endorsed by more and more countries. First, buyers from countries along the Belt and Road Initiative come to the Canton Fair to purchase. Before the epidemic, 46% of buyers come from BRI countries. That is nearly 100,000 people. This year, it has further increased. According to the statistics from the first two phases, this proportion has increased to 48%. Second, enterprises from countries along the Belt and Road actively come to the Canton Fair to participate in the exhibition. They cooperate and compete on the same stage with Chinese enterprises. The third is that the Canton Fair itself has established close cooperative relations with countries along the Belt and Road. We have now established close partnership with 59 countries and 93 industrial and commercial organizations along the Belt and Road, so we can know what products they need, what kind of new technologies, new products, and new fashions they need in advance. Then, tell other exhibitors and buyers the news so they can prepare early to better connect with the Belt and Road countries.
与中国市场与世界市场的共同发展。
So thank you so much, Mr. Chu. I know you are very busy with your work. Thank you for sharing your time with us. Appreciate it. B as a bee. The Canton Fair has been held in Guangzhou every year since 1957. This is a city that understands the importance of trade. Behind me, you can see is the old Canton Custom House. It is a symbol of China opening to the world. On China's opening up to the world, I spent a good afternoon chatting with these gentlemen. Peppino Kokoza from Sweden. He's been a regular at the Canton Fair every year since 1966. He not only talks about business, but even more vividly, history and friendship. Aftab Gauhar, the director of a Pakistani textile company. He's curious about how the Belt and Road Initiative will transform the Canton Fair. And Emerson Feng, the marketing director of a Chinese robot company. He's excited about how smart manufacturing has shined at the Canton Fair and how it has won global recognition. After their long working day at the Canton Fair, I invited them for a brief walk and talk in a nice Canton garden. They shared with me their first-hand experiences and takeaways from the Canton Fair. Mr. Gaofar, Mr. Kokoza, and Mr. Feng, what a pleasure to see you here at Canton Fair. We are in a beautiful Chinese cultural garden near the Canton Fair. It's wonderful to have a Chinese-style conversation. But this gentleman, everybody at Canton Fair have heard about you almost, because 55 years going to the Canton Fair. Amazing. You have to tell us about it. What is your experience like?
I grew up with the Canton Fair. The reason why I select to come to China, I read the Marco Polo book. I was very young, and it taught me a lot from this book, how China was nice, so great, so rich, so nice. So I must go to that country. Maybe one day I become rich also. Maybe I haven't, but I still come.
But you're rich at heart because you have been serving as a bridge
Yes.
between your country, Sweden,
Yeah.
and also China. I see even on your badge, you have a very special badge. All the pins and the badges coming from different decades of China.
Yes, given from different friends, some government people. I have collected 55 years collection.
Mr. Kokoza is looking at China through the lens of history on the platform of Canton Fair. I know, Mr. Golfa, you are here quite new.
Yes, we've been coming here since 2016. My first visit was in 2008. Like Mr. Kokoza, he's been here since a very long time, but since I come to China in 2008, there was the Olympics, and then I saw China shifting from in last 15 year, dramatically from this to here. And in Canton Fair, we've been exhibiting from 2016, and it has been very good experience for us. As far as business, it has been very good. And since then, we are trying to explore Chinese market, and we had a very wonderful contacts in China, and also with the rest of the world. It's a platform where we can approach to other people around the world too. So it has been a very good experience for us.
What about for you, Mr. Feng?
For me, this is the 10th year I've been to Canton Fair. But 10 years ago, I've been working with consumer products, and now as a smart technology industry, this is the first time we've been to Canton Fair right now.
It must be exciting because I understand the first part of the 133rd Canton Fair, it's all about smart manufacturing. It's really the focus, isn't it? What exactly are your products?
Our products contains intelligent sweepers, driverless sightseeing car, service robot, and food delivery robot. So mostly for industry.
What about for you? What kind of products are you selling or buying here?
We are actually both. We are doing both. We are selling and buying at the same time. We are textile manufacturer in Pakistan. We have spinning, weaving, dyeing, printing, and stitching. So it's like a whole chain of it's a vertically integrated unit. So some of our products are coming to China, like we are selling yarns and raw fabrics to China. And some of the fabrics which are Chinese specialty, we are importing and then stitching in Pakistan and exporting to Europe and further on, and for Pakistani market as well. So it's both ways, like we are importing and exporting from Pakistan to China.
What about for you, Mr. Kokoza? You started 55 years ago. What did you sell and buy then? What about now?
Pencils, glassware from Liaoning, vacuum bottles, vacuum flasks. Very simple. There was not so much to buy. Nowadays, I buy ceramic, glassware, stationery, toys from China. And I sell to China also.
What did you sell?
Friendship and love.
Well, that's a great way to put it. I'm going to remember that. Having said that, though, how do you see the changes and transformation, as we mentioned earlier?
Yes, definitely. This transformation is normally it's a gradual process, but I would say this COVID years had made it more speedy process for the changes the world has seen for the last 4 years. So a lot of smart manufacturing has come into play, because since these lockdowns started happening around the world, people started thinking about some smart manufacturing tool where you can have a lot less people in one place. Even in our factory, we invested into lot more into robotics and automation. And apart from that, generally our consumer behavior has changed. Personally, for me, I was never going to buy anything online before 2019. And now like 80% of my purchases are coming online. So only 20%. So this is the behavior which is overall changed, and it's bringing in new ways. And also it's shifting the supply chain as well. To some, it's people are diversifying their sources for supply chain, and also with the online access, because since the online business has grown up, the small manufacturers have big access to the markets in China and US as well. So I think that's how it changed since last 2-3 years.
Mr. Feng, I'm sure you share the similar thoughts.
Yes, actually, like 10 years ago, when I'm in the consumer product industry, it's more like we provide OEM product to the customers. We make packages for them. We make their brand like that. Now we started from this robot industry. Now we are starting to build our own brand. We show our new face here. So many people will see how Chinese products evolved from these 10 years.
We're looking at Canton Fair. How much can we learn, and how much can they help us?
Yes, definitely. It's because when we were doing online, we were definitely having visit of customers on the platform, on the Canton Fair platform. But it was not as good as being physical when you are available on the physical space and you can look around, and when you are looking at something, ideas come into your mind, and obviously you see so many great developments, and then ideas coming into your mind that, oh, we can make this something new out of that idea. So it's a great opportunity to see so many new developments, and at the same time so many new ideas coming to your mind by looking at those new developments.
Many of us have been confused over the past few years, especially during the pandemic, for almost every country, as to where are we? Where are we heading for? How are we going to treat each other? What is the future for all of us? I guess these fundamental questions, coming here, living here for a few days, talking to your partners around the world during the Canton Fair, do you have a better idea to some of these questions?
For me, it's not a quotation from somewhere, but it's just for me, looking at the history, the traders and the business people are the people who are bringing the world together, not the politicians, not the governments. These are the traders, and even in the ancient history, if you see, traders were the first one to go to the different countries and bring that culture back to the country.
Like the ancient Silk Road.
Ancient Silk Road. So still today it's the same valid. We are diplomats of our country, and the people we see here are diplomats of their country. We bring cultures together. And what I see, not looking at the news, but what I see, everyone is as friendly as people in my country. So it's great opportunity to be here and see people around the world and from China.
For my business, China has not been absent at all these 3 years. We have been doing continually business. Actually, we have increased during this period, the business with China. For me, I have not been affected at all. I think it's the same thing for many other buyers. So now as I told you before, now we so many new things, many every new factory, new products. So we have just to be happy. It came back, and support China.
So another thing I want to ask these two gentlemen particularly is about Belt and Road. I understand this time during the Canton Fair, a larger proportion of participants coming from economies along the latest Belt and Road initiative. So tell me, how is that going to bring more possibility for what you are doing right now?
As Pakistan, I'm from Pakistan, and Pakistan is a major partner in Belt and Road initiative. It's maybe one of the largest country who's getting this investment of Belt and Road initiative. So people actually in my country, they are very hopeful, because with this Belt and Road initiative, there's lots of roads being built from since this started in 2016, and it has given us a mobility to go and send our goods quicker to the ports. And also with the Chinese border, at the Pakistan and China border, there is some development going on with the Belt and Road initiative. So once this is done, we will have access to the Chinese mainland market through the China-Pakistan border, through Himalayas. So that will be another big step for Pakistan and for China as well, because China will have direct access through Pakistan to Indian Ocean. So that will be a big development, especially for the west part of the China, to lift up the west of the Chinese. They will have easy access through the Belt and Road initiative to Indian Ocean.
Right.
Actually, this time we counted 60% of our customers from the Belt and Road countries. So this is a big change before the COVID, and from decades, 1 decade ago, just starting the BRI, we got few customers from those countries, but now this is already multiple times than before. So this is a real change, because we know 65% of the people is in this Belt and Road initiative countries, and 40% GDP of the whole global GDP. So this is a big chance for us. We really want to focus on this part.
What is your wish to the world that we need to have, so that you can do your business well and you can serve your customer even better? Mr. Kokoza.
Free country, and free trade. That's the best. Not close any door.
From Pakistan, obviously, the pain we feel from Pakistan, because we don't have access to so many markets as because it's a third world country, and we have a problem getting visas and stuff like this. Many of the traders in Pakistan who can be potentially very good businessmen, but they cannot do business, they cannot export their goods if they don't have access to the market.
Just open, we just share our open mind. We just share the market is free market. This is the main idea. Don't put anything else in it.
Thank you so much, the three of you. Thank you for spending your precious time during a fair, a trade fair. I really appreciate that. I hope all your good wishes could come true. Appreciate it. Well, we hope all their best wishes can come true. Trade still makes the world go around. It also creates an important bridge for us all. That's what I learned from the Canton Fair. I hope this special story also provides you with some food for thought. I'm Tian, bidding you goodbye from Guangzhou.